Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and this is another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got a ZVP, Zerg v Protoss, and it is between LoWeLy, the red Zerg player in the top right, and BabyKnight, the blue Protoss in the top left position. The map Teldarim Altar, and this should mean massive epic macro games. Now, for anyone who doesn't keep up with StarCraft, no more rocks at the third, which is really going to be a big thing for LoWeLy, which is why we're probably seeing a ZVP matchup on this map for a long time. This was banished to the veto list for so many Zerg players because the rocks at the third against Protoss basically means the Protoss player goes for a forge fast expansion, and then the Zerg player is like, I'll take my natural, and then like, oh, I need a third base at 4 to 5 minutes. That ain't happening with rocks at my third, and they just lose. Obviously now can take that third, but obviously being in close by ground positions, ooh, could it be awkward? We'll wait and see how it does play out. Now, obviously, been doing lots of casting, get daily casts up, but unfortunately, I did have a little slip up a couple of days ago where, well, there was a gap in my casting schedule caused completely by the fact that YouTube took the sound off my video when I uploaded them. So I'm having to cast with a really sore throat, so I apologise if at any point I start coughing terribly. It's because I probably shouldn't be doing this. I'm coming down with a cold and my throat is agony for every word I say, but I just care, and I don't want to miss my track record of daily content. Anyway, so far for LoWeLy, we do have that 14 spawning pool. That's to be expected, but you can't fast expand against Protoss, because if they get that forge down, they can come and build cannons at your base and you die. So, we've seen the 14 pool. Meanwhile, out of BabyKnight, we've got a gateway first, so I'm reckoning this isn't going to actually be a forge fast expansion, obviously by the fact that there isn't a forge. The gate I knew pretty early on because the pylon obviously back there rather than here. Now, the reason for that is obviously defending that area is a lot more easy. This area quite wide, and actually getting that forge fast expansion down is quite a large area to wall off, and perhaps BabyKnight was slightly concerned of some kind of early aggression. LoWeLy getting down his hatchery, all to be expected. Good timing on everything, to be honest, out of this Zerg player. Now, the concern is BabyKnight's going to put some one base pressure on. He's getting that cybernetics core down already, so again, the pressure is something that you want to be concerned about. On on Teldarim rather, you do have this deck space, so Voidways, obviously airplay can be quite aggressive. BabyKnight does like Stargates. Obviously down the back, we do have entrances to the natural base as well, so things like Phoenix can be pretty potent, and especially against Zerg anyway. Phoenix. A single Void Ray with 4 Phoenix can be very difficult to deal with early on in the game. Now, we do have the Chrono Boost coming down on the Stalker. The Zealot is there as well, so one Stalker Zealot harassment is always a possibility. This Overlord is off somewhere fun. Who knows where that Overlord's going. Surprised it wasn't just left up here, to be honest. That'd give it a nice bit of vision. Where's the other places you can always put them? You can put them up here. That's another great vision position. All these little high ground things is something that you can stick those Overlords just to be on the safe side, and something really Zerg players do need to pay attention to, especially when you're in the lower leagues. You may not realise the importance, but an Overlord here gives you some vision of the ramp. If you've got one there and one there, you get great vision of what's coming out of the Protoss base. Now, BabyKnight with the pylon down in the front there is definitely going to be expanding, so it's a one gate expansion, but with the double gas, interested to see how many sentries he's going to pump. With so much gas, suspecting we could see some kind of 2 Immortal Sentry type play, which of course is a very strong 2-base play. Now, this one queen off creep is gonna die. That is a big loss for LoWeLy right there, because obviously that is a lot of Zerg production. He does have more queens in production though already, just the one, but if the second queen were to go down, that would be quite a big loss actually, and it looks like it's going to, and of course without the 2 queens, that is a massive period of time without those lava injects. Now that Stalker definitely needs to pick that up. One more hit. Does manage to get away as well. The drones tried to get this round, but the Stalker does survive. And of course, with only 1 inject coming down now, that is going to really hamper the ability of LoWeLy to be able to basically catch up in terms of the drone count, get some more units out, and really reach that point that he wants. Now, looking here, BabyKnight is just getting so many free wins. There's some Zerglings coming in for this Stalker. Will BabyKnight notice in time? He should do. The Stalker tries to get away, but may just go for that Overlord, and that does as well supply LoWeLy, so supply block LoWeLy, which is a huge effect in this early stage of the game, because he's now missing the queen, the injects, he's supply blocked. Generally, things are not going his way. We've got the Forge coming down as well as second gateway. Nothing else up in the main yet. Lair Tech coming down from LoWeLy as well. So that is very early Lair Tech. Really very early. So I'll be interested to see what he's going to do with that. The fact that there's also no third base is something that's making me question what's going on. The double Stargate coming down that is, well, a serious commitment to air harassment out of BabyKnight there. And judging from what he's done so far, I'd be quite happy with that. I mean, he's picked off early queens. There's still only 2 queens on the field. The bases aren't joined up by creep, so they're not going to be able to get to each other easily. The concern, although, obviously, is with the lair out. Hydrogen is only a very, very short tech leap away, getting up all for gas as well. So, may even see Mutalisk play out of LoWeLy. That is really what's characteristic of getting that super early lair and all for gas super early, because he's going to start banking up huge amounts of gas fairly quickly. The 2 Stargates are now done. We should see probably a Voidway and a Phoenix out there. Actually, a double Voidway seems to be the choice. Now, Infestation pick coming down. I am super interested to see how this build plays out for LoWeLy, actually, because those Infestors are going to hit super early, but not early enough to combat this airplay. If we look at the work account, well, only now LoWeLy is starting to pull ahead, and the key thing here is he hasn't gone for that 3rd base. I'm not even sure LoWeLy he is aware that that base is down, so he knows he's on equal bases with his opponent, so must be very happy that he can deal a lot of damage at some point in this matchup, because as it stands, he could be in big problems. The 2 Phoenix coming out following this up, this is going to be such a power push, and really with no spore crawlers, no overlords really there, the first sign that this air push is coming is literally gonna be as the Voidways hit here. Even if spore crawlers were thrown down instantly at the main, the 2 Voidways could focus it down. With the Phoenix as well, the lifts on the Queen would prevent any anti-air damage being done, and well, that wouldn't be fun. Now the Voidways have actually stopped, forced to cancel the 3rd base. That's irritating. Here comes down the spore crawlers. We've got 1, 2 at the main base already. A 3rd at the natural, it should be. There we go. Are we going to see a 4th? Not yet. Now, obviously with the Phoenix, a lot of overlords getting picked up, and again, this is just free damage, and there are so many overlords around absolutely everywhere. The 2 queens will probably just get lifted straight away, and then get focused down by the Voidways, and then it's just a case of picking off the Spore Crawler, which shouldn't be too hard, to be honest. I mean, just the amount of damage that these Voidways are able to deal. We've got more Phoenix coming in. The Phoenix should be able to tank up some of the fire of the Voidway. The shields of the Voidways absolutely fine at the moment. LoWeLy supply block because of so many Phoenix getting killed. And well, the Voidways do just need to be careful of course, that 1 Spore Crawler. But the Infestors hit just in time. A Fungal Growth does go down, but they are getting lifted. And the Voidways are really magically staying up. They are both on very low health, though. The lair getting target fired down, that is going to really hurt the tech. The Overlords are hugging the Spore Crawlers. Another Spore Crawler moving over to the natural base. LoWeLy does not want to lose this, but as you can see, we've got yet more Phoenix joining the mix, which isn't too great against these Spore Crawlers. The Phoenix do need to be a bit careful, but of course the Voidways deal enough damage to just completely focus down this Spore Crawler near instantly, and of course the anti-air is now pretty much dead and gone. The main base is getting quite a few more. The Phoenix could be utilised more effectively, I feel, in terms of picking up drones and just picking them off. You may as well use them. The Spore Crawlers seem to be going pretty much unnoticed. We do now have quite a few infested turns getting thrown out, and that will definitely force BabyKnight to pull back. But the 2 Voidways do unfortunately fall, and now we've got BabyKnight with an awful lot of Phoenix, which aren't doing too much at the moment. In terms of counterattacks, nothing really happening. BabyKnight has just been left to happily probe up, and he's up to 52 probes. He's denied this 3rd base for ages. He's getting a good force up. He's getting a robotic facility, the Twilight Council. He's got a good defensive position already. My concern is just what he's going to do with all these Phoenix, because there's too many Spore Crawlers pretty much everywhere. The lair was picked off though, so obviously that has put LoWeLy back to 1 base, and that's going to really hurt because the 3rd base already coming out for BabyKnight. So BabyKnight going to be a base up, and for a Protoss to be a base up on Zerg is just absolutely hideous. We do have these Phoenix trying to do a little bit of damage around here. I don't think they managed to do too much. 11 workers killed by BabyKnight. He is now pretty far ahead in terms of the work count, so he is going to be incredibly happy. If we do take a look at the income, obviously that's really pushing in BabyKnight's favour. He's going in a defensive position to his 3rd. We'd like to see a couple of cannons thrown down here just because of Zergling run-bys, which is exactly what we're going to see here. And, well, BabyKnight, he's doing a good job defending. He's got good presence. These Phoenix really do need to think about, hang on, how are we going to use these Phoenix? How are we going to get a maximum return on the investment? Because ultimately this is quite a lot of resources that have been used. It was a big tech play, and while the Voidways did pick up the lair, obviously the natural, and were incredibly irritating, forced a lot of Spore Crawlers, etc., these Phoenix haven't been that successful now. Things like these Infestors are going to be the threat. We've got left with a big Fungal Growth can go off, and that is a big concern. The Spore Crawlers are going to be able to pick up quite a few Phoenix there. could try and just go for it, which it looks like BabyKnight's going to do. May as well, he's going to lose those Phoenix, may as well let them go out in style, get a couple of drones, and they do. They get a decent number actually, and if we look here, it's keeping BabyKnight ahead in the worker count. As you can see, LoWeLy just being forced to drone, and nothing else. The 5th and 6th gas being taken. In terms of the mining of everything, this is not fun. The Roach War and Baneling Nest on its way, so really LoWeLy forced in a position now where he's got to Roach Baneling all in my opinion. He's getting down the 3rd base, but that's more of just he's got enough money to do so. I'd start pumping those Roaches and Banelings and just try and kill your opponent, because you know you're a long way behind in this position. The supply count says it all. Worker count says even more. The base count is in BabyKnight's favour. The tech count is there, but this Zerg run by could actually help level things out slightly for our Zerg buddy here. How many probes did he manage to get? 9. Not too bad, but the force field's not quite on the money. A double observer out there. May want to spread those out a bit. The first Colossus hits the field, and well, with the first Colossus, you know that the Zerg is going to enter some problems, and we may actually miss the opportunity for a lot of Roaches and Banelings to do damage, because obviously once that splash ability of the Colossus starts stacking up, you get to around the 3-4 Colossus mark, nothing gets close. The Roaches just melt, and you really need another way to deal with it. The Infestor count really good for LoWeLy actually. I mean, it's pretty much the majority of his army. It is. He's got 6 Infestors and 6 Zerglings. That is all that makes up, and he's getting 4 more Infestors, so really showing a good use of Infestors. But the downside to that is they are a support unit. They're a caster. They can't deal with the damage. They can't deal with this, a massive force just marching its way across the map. A couple of Phoenix there picking up the Queens, meaning they do no damage. You get 3 units as the Protoss, and every time you engage 100% cost efficiency, it's great. In terms of resources, BabyKnight has been more adaptive. Now the Infestors are going to have to do something amazing, such as get good fungal growths like that, but with Blinkdom, those Stalkers are able to move forward. The Infested Terrans is going to start melting, of course, to the Colossus, and even though the damage appears to be quite good, obviously there's just too much of the Protoss force here, and I can't see any way really that LoWeLy is going to be able to defend this. He's got just Infestors, he's getting 8 Roaches out, and this is pretty much GG now. The last ditch attempt, some force fields go down, and there is the GG from LoWeLy, and BabyKnight just played solidly the entire time. My concern is LoWeLy, he teched too quickly to Infestors and just had no way to deal with aggression, so a bit of a shame there. But anyway guys, if you did enjoy the casting, please subscribe, like, leave a cool comment, follow me on Twitter, but most importantly, if you want to watch some more games, flick over to my channel. I've got hundreds, or I'll see you tomorrow for yet another brand new cast. Thank you very much for watching. I was Madals, and this was an SC2 England cast. Bye for now.